Welcome to Blueprint, Expo City Dubai's podcast where we meet the visionaries and innovators shaping Dubai's future. Tune in for candid conversations, discover how Expo City is driving transformation, and uncover the ideas that inspire fresh ways of imagining what's next.
Gawdat, thank you so much for joining us on this special episode of Blueprint podcast by Expo City Dubai. We're sitting here, you've just got off the stage at the Asia Pacific City Summit and Mayors Forum, APCS 2025, our Global Cities Summit at Expo City Dubai, where we're convening over 150 mayors, over 200 city leaders, more than 300 cities have just listened to you in that room in front of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, our Crown Prince. What an extraordinary moment for us all. Thank you so much for being here.
What a privilege. And like always, Dubai pulls it off. Like this must be the largest city conference in the world.
This is the largest convening of mayors and city leaders in history. For those of our guests who are listening, a very quick introduction that you are a renowned Egyptian entrepreneur, former chief business officer at Google X, and best-selling author of Solve the Happy and Scary Smart. You don't really need much of an introduction, so we're going to go straight into the questions. And I'd love to hear a little bit about what you said on stage, but also, you talk a lot about how AI can be either humanity's greatest achievement or its most dangerous failure. So when we look at cities and our most complex systems, what inspires your mission to humanize AI in this context?
I think the reality is that we live in a very, very fast-paced time of change. Everything is changing around us. You look at the economics of the world, the geopolitics of the world, the future of jobs and work and everything. Everything's changing, and it may sound that it's my area of expertise where I start to tell the world, but the biggest change that is happening is AI. Because I'm a geek, I feel that, but also I will tell you openly, I believe that this is true. I believe that every change that's happening in our world today is going to be massively accelerated by AI. And what I was trying to deliver on stage is sort of a wake-up call that basically reminds people that they're not moving fast enough. And they're not moving fast enough simply because if you're not a geek, you don't truly know how far we've come. And we have incredible technologies that are in the lab, but that have crossed what we normally call the breakthrough discovery. So they are at a moment where we know we're going to build them, and we're going to build them really fast.
So what technologies and mindsets do you think others can look to Dubai as inspiration for, that they've adopted? They've got this, Dubai has this agile mindset. It's adopted that speed. It's adopted that vision. What does it look like for you here? What does it look like today, and what does it look like in 50 years?
It feels like home in so many ways. So I lived in Dubai for many years in my life, and I will always tell you that the years where I was in Dubai were the years where I accelerated my career the most, simply because you have tailwind all the time. And I started early. I spent the first 5 years in Egypt of my career, and then I moved here. And the mathematics would blow your mind. Most people don't understand that. But if you're young in your career, a 10% difference of productivity in your every year is just 10% on the first year, but it compounds. And it compounds so quickly that by year 5 or year 6, you are way ahead of your peers that haven't enjoyed that compounding, right? And I have to say, being the UAE and Dubai early, I think the first time I arrived was 1995. It was literally the breakout point where this nation was completely setting the standards for everyone. And my God, I can easily say it's definitely one of the biggest contributors ever to the fact that I became what I became, which was completely a dream for me. Now, the thing about Dubai is even today, and the nation at large, the UAE at large, is that they're relentless. It's incredible, the speed. They achieve so much, and it is almost like science fiction already. and yet they're looking 2 years ahead and
Yeah.
saying, can we do more?
Yeah.
It feels so much like a tech startup.
Yeah, they're looking always ahead to see what they can do more, but also wanting to bring everybody along the journey
I
with
love
them.
that. Yeah.
And so I've been here for 17 years. I've been lucky and privileged enough to be on the arc of internationalization of the city of Dubai, always
Yeah.
working in that context, so with a very global outlook from Dubai. And it's always been looking north, south, east, and west, and Dubai's place in it.
Yeah.
So given the fact that we're at a conference on cities, and we're talking to you about the role of technology and ethical technology, how does it apply, do you think, in the context of north and south? What are the barriers to entry that we can apply across the board as cities from all over the world?
So this is two layers, which I think I need to cover both. It's important to highlight. So in my last conversation with Her Excellency Reem Al Hashmi, we were talking about we were talking about the possibilities of the idea that Dubai is not competitive. It wants to bring everyone along, right? And I think that beautiful vision is something that most people don't realize. The impact that the leadership of this place exports to the world. It's like, hey, we've had to test a few things. We've discovered that this is a very good way to go. By the way, you can use that, right?
Exactly.
And
And by the way, we want to learn from you too. So in your perspective, how do you take AI and tech
my
and
God.
actually enable a citizen's quality of life?
You see, AI is very, whenever AI is brought up as a topic, you'll get two camps. One, people will say this is gonna change everything, it's gonna fix the world, and others will say, oh, this is gonna destroy the world. I say it has the potential equally to do either, okay? And it is truly the vision and the execution of how AI is utilized that makes it a utopia or a dystopia. And I actually, if now that we're talking about Dubai, I don't live in Dubai as I used to. I have a place here, I come frequently, because it's the center of the world, really, when you think about it. But every time I come here, just for the fun of it and for bragging, I post on social media, the typical Dubai test of leaving your wallet and your phone and your laptop opened and unlocked, right?
And in
you
7 hours you come back.
Yeah, you go disappear for a while and come back and they're still there.
Yeah.
Now, that is the result of an incredible use of technology.
Yeah.
You have to understand this, huh? Dubai, police forces can absolutely monitor quite a bit of almost everything of what's happening, right? And this is not unusual in all major cities in the world. There are cameras everywhere. But the way we use it in Dubai makes us feel safe. Do you understand this? Huh? They use it to make everyone's life better. So, my daughter can drive home anytime she wants. I can leave things and feel safe about them. We're civil in the dealings we have with each other, even if sometimes life is a little bit stressful.
Just picking up on the point you made about teaching people the right actions and around, how do you behave? What is the sort of behavioral change? How can cities really build those skills or those digital skills among the most vulnerable? Because you've got folks who might not have the right education or who might not have the right access to resources. Cities are at all different levels of economic power and economic strength. How do you cut through some of that?
This is about to change drastically. Right? So you have to understand that all of the, if you look back to 1995, if you want, the rise of the internet and how the internet democratized information so that everyone in the world today has access to the same knowledge that a Harvard student would have. AI and robotics are going to democratize access to action. So you can use intelligence as far as you want at your fingertips. You just have to learn how to seek it.
Yeah.
You can the very definition of labor arbitrage, or the very definition of a factory that required billions of dollars of investments before can now be done in a micro environment that uses robotics in ways that we have not seen before. There is that equality of access to knowledge, access to intelligence, access to work, if you want. And I have to say that the way to embody that, which again is a very interesting example that you see here, is by having the leadership in touch with the reality. So when you're allocated the responsibility of a city, you look at infrastructure, you look at urban mobility, you look at traffic, you look at law enforcement and so on. While what you should look at first is the core value of that place. And if you can actually live up to that core value of that place, everyone else will follow.
So other than Dubai, is there a city around the world that inspires you?
Quite a few, I have to say, differently. I mean, Seoul, for example, to me is that incredible.
The mayor of Seoul is here.
Yeah, I actually met some of his delegation as well. I mean, it's an incredibly intelligent place that is so values driven yet so fast, right? You go to Tokyo, despite the pressures and how Tokyo continues to be that very pleasant, Japanese smile kind of place where everything is so traditional, so core to to how they do things. Look, I was just in Sydney a couple of around 10 days ago, and that mix of love of life and a reasonable focus on well-being while being very successful.
Yeah. Mo, thank you so much. We've run out of time. They keep waving
It's always time. It's
minutes
always
at me.
time. Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. This has been a joy.
Such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to continue to learn from your insights.
Oh, you're very kind.
Thank you
you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.